Good afternoon. It's actually the very first time in ages I've made a video so late. I was busy doing other things. However, the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. So I thought I'd have something different to talk about. Now, I'm not sure about America, but in Britain, if you want to watch television, whether it's Sky, whether it's whatever channel, free view, you need a TV license, BBC license. Whether it's a PlayStation, whether it's your mobile phone, you need to pay to the British Broadcasting Corporation. And it's a scam. It really is, because you were originally paying for that TV for the BBC, back in the days. But how they con the people, if you're a corporate company, you can stretch the laws to, so now they're claiming because you can receive signal, whether you're interested in the BBC or not, because you can receive signal on mobile phone, PlayStation, whatever, you're obligated to pay TV license. It's silly and illegal. But if you're a corporate company, you could do whatever you want. However, what I find interesting, there is thousands of people who are against paying the TV license because they claim the BBC were behind a paedophile ring, which is true. The BBC also supported Jimmy Savile when they knew that this prolific, child molester who had links to the royal family, obviously they turned a blind eye to it. But the contradiction is, number one, how many of these people who are against paying the BBC because of their paedophile background, how many are royalist? Jimmy Savile had contact with the royal family, and Prince Andrew, I believe, were engaging in underage sex. There's a royal scandal regarding a child being murdered in Sandringham Castle some years ago. Are these people going to become non-royalist? Or what about, it makes you question it. What about paying your taxes, right? The government themselves, number 10, were involved in a paedophile ring. We all know about this. Everybody knows about it. It's not conspiracy theory, right? You can read it in any newspaper, and also see David Cameron doing a spin on it. But the 10 Downing Street was actually operating a paedophile ring. How come these people against the BBC have nothing to say about that? Now, it makes me wonder. I've never seen anybody in this modern age who is radical or revolutionary so much like those who don't want to pay their TV license. What are their real motives? Now, to pay your TV license, obviously there's two payments. If you have a black and white TV, you pay lesser. If you have a colour TV, you pay in excess of £127 a year. So is it really financial? Is the motive financial, and they're using this paedophile argument, for their own benefit? Think about it. How is it revolution is rare? All of a sudden there's people campaigning to not pay their TV license. £147 a year. Over 2 years, it's almost £300. You can go to Spain, a cheap Spanish holiday for that a weekend. So maybe financial, motivation is what's driving these people to campaigning against the BBC. Maybe it's not really the paedophile, background that the BBC was involved in. Let's look at the evidence. You see, the government themselves were behind a paedophile ring, yet people still pay their income tax. Did you know the law states it is an offence against the law of England and Wales for a person to commit genocide, a crime against humanity or a war crime, or to engage in conduct conciliatory to such an act? This applies to acts committed in England and Wales or outside the United Kingdom by UK national. No, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Wait, bear with me. You'll love it. Genocide means any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnic, racial or religious group in a killing. And therefore, you know, you'll be pleased to know that if you are a beat, accessory, an accomplice by paying your income tax, you are an accessory to the government's crime. Paying income tax to a government that's using your money, if it's too complicated to go into, for war crimes or to pay for debt, for killing people on the grounds of race, ethnicity, you are not obligated to pay income tax. Or even a government who are operating a paedophile ring, but you have no problem paying it. You have no problem paying it. How is it the BBC? You want to campaign against the BBC, yeah, you don't mind paying income tax to kill, exterminate, you know, other races, case no kin. Is it because the BBC you're saving £147 a year? What's your real motive? If you really want to be consistent in your revolution, you would not pay income tax to the government. You said, oh, well, I'm working for somebody else, blah, 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 right? Look, council tax, that is different, right? But income tax, especially if you're self-employed, right, as long as you don't fill that form in and you give if you fill that form in, it becomes a contractual arrangement. So they're not stopping you, they're not suing you for not paying your tax, they're suing you for broken agreement. There's loads of videos on this. You know, they're suing you for break of agreement. You signed it, you're saying, I'm going to pay the government, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's an agreement. They're suing you for breach of contract. Every government is involved in genocide, which means that people don't have to pay income tax. But we do. Because we don't mind what they do. We benefit from it, which makes us accessory to their crime. When I was doing law and St. Matthew Bolton, I remember this was during Blair being in power. Tony Blair was the #1, you know, warmonger in the world. #1 warmonger in the world. Nobody's been to war than this socialist, this big socialist, Tony Blair. He's the one who's the designer to go to war with Iraq, right? Or America got the blame, right? However, we were doing the principal accessory and accomplice to crime. And I remember, so we're studying criminal law, and for some reason I brought up, you know, I think Saddam Hussein and the Kurds. And obviously we know that the bombs, you know, came from private companies from the UK. And I said, well, if he's guilty of gassing the Kurds, killing the Kurds, and the name on the bomb said it came from Britain, signed and delivered from Britain, I said that makes Britain an accessory to the crime of genocide on the Kurdish people, because they knew that bomb could only reach a 91, I think it's mile radius. They made sure the Europe was safe, they made sure Britain was safe, but you can kill all the Kurds. Look the history up. You can kill the Kurds, and as long as you don't touch us, we're okay. And they made sure they designed a bomb that was only capable of killing the Kurds. The British did that. The British, they made money out of killing innocent babies. Yet we pay our income tax. We have no problem with that. Yet the BBC license, we want to hang ourselves, kill ourselves over that. Yet we'll overlook the genocide across the world that the British government and the American government are doing. We're hypocrites. If we're so revolutionary, why don't we take down the government from power and really have a people's revolution? But we don't mind being run by a pack of pedophiles. We don't mind being run by a pack of corrupt leaders, by a pack of gangsters. We don't mind that. It's no different to the Catholics. The Catholic, they're not stupid. The Catholics know that the Catholic Church was run by the bourgeois who were gangsters. But something wrong with people's minds. There's something wrong with people's minds. They don't mind being pimped out and deceived. They'll still pay their money happily. So why target the BBC if you're not prepared to target the big government? Committing genocide, and it comes to the law. If you are paying your income tax and your money is being used, and it is, for genocide purposes, then you don't have to pay your income tax. I dare you, take your case to court and you'll win. The judge cannot force you to pay income tax to a country that is using that money for genocide. The BBC, they're only a small fish to fry. Just a bunch of people who want to save £127 a year, £147 a year. They want more pocket money. It's not real revolution. A real revolution is when you refuse to sign those papers, refuse a contract. Once you sign a paper, you sign your soul away. They love you to sign. You don't sign those papers, you don't have to pay a penny to the government. And I'll send you links to prove it. Talking about links, if you love this video, you now can contribute to my site, so you can make a donation. Talking about links. Add that in, right? So what I'm saying is this: it's all being well, right? Targeting baby BBC. It's all being well targeting them small fish. We're not going for the big fish. David Cameron went on TV. Look it up. I'll give you the link. Look it up. David Cameron went on TV. And what did he do? Bold face with his pedophile government. What did he do? He swept it under the carpet, and conveniently the names which had all the pedophiles on, the government deliberately lost that pen. This is how much they think about you. That's what they think about you. Oh people, we've lost that pen. Nevertheless, vote for us. They know you're suckers. You believe them. We've lost that pen. But these bitches, well, they're pimps. These bitches will have to vote for us. How? We will divide white people from black people. Always works. Whenever the government is fearful, whenever they're scared, we'll cause a racial rift. We'll give white people the jobs and black people we don't. We'll cause a terrorism somewhere. Create the nation, create them on their feet. We're going to make them need us. They'll come to us for their safety. That's how they conquer and divide. That's how they control you. Turn you into their bitches, into their puppets. Wake up and stop being their puppet. If you really want to be revolutionary, the BBC is not paying your TV license. I'm not saying pay your TV license. It's a scam. I agree it's a scam. But I'm telling you, I hope your intention is honourable. I hope that you also campaign against your genocidal government. That's all. Thank you very much.